Hey guys, welcome back. I want to start out this video by telling you that my teeth are stained from this pink liquid lipstick. So if my teeth look discolored, that is why. I'm starting out this video today by reviewing the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Foundation Stick and the Ultra HD Concealer. These are both newer products from Makeup Forever. This one has been out for maybe a couple months now, but the concealer has only been out for a couple weeks, and a lot of people have been asking how I like them, and I've been using both regularly, so I wanted to tell you my impressions of these products. In my experience, stick foundations are very difficult to blend. They're very stiff, and it doesn't matter what tool you use, whether it's a brush or a sponge, they're just hard to blend out. This, however, blends like a dream. I draw it all over my face where I want the most coverage. I'll put a little bit more, and then I'll use a kabuki brush to blend it out. I do find that blending it with a kabuki brush works a little bit better than a beauty blender because it's faster. With the beauty blender, you have to spend more time stippling like this, but with the foundation brush, you just blend it all around really quickly. I am in the shade 125, which is also Y315. They recently did reformulate their foundations, and when they did that, they changed the shade numbers, which is entirely confusing to me. I don't know what Y stands for, but I'm Y315 or 125. When I get a little bit tanner, I will wear 127 and 155. Now, comparing this with the Makeup Forever Liquid HD Foundation, there is a difference. With the stick, you only get 0.44 ounces, but with the liquid, you get 1.01 ounces. So you get more than double the amount of product, but it also takes a lot more product to accomplish what you're trying to accomplish. For me, I like medium to full coverage, and it's very easy to accomplish that quickly with the stick because you just draw it where you want it. And if you want more coverage, you just draw a little bit more on and blend it out. But with this, it's not quite medium coverage. It's a little bit less than medium coverage. And so I have to use a lot more product in order to get the coverage that I want. But if you don't want full coverage, then you don't have to use as much product. The stick foundation, on the other hand, is medium to full coverage. It's very easy to get full coverage with this, whereas with this, you have to really build it up to get medium coverage. You need a couple layers of this product. Both of these are equally dewy. This is a dewy finish foundation, no matter whether you choose the stick or the liquid. And I have to say, being an oily skin person, it is very difficult for me to find a dewy finish foundation that doesn't melt off of me by the end of the day. The stick foundation stays full coverage on me all day long, but I do have to blot usually once or twice throughout the day. Like every couple hours I do need to blot because my oil does come through on this, and I will look very oily over my entire face. Normally, if I wear like a matte finish foundation, I only get oily right here, a little bit right here, and then right here in the middle of my forehead. But with this, I look oily everywhere, so I have to blot my entire face. Personally, I don't mind that at all. I don't mind having to blot because I have tissues accessible to me all the time. I don't have to, stop what I'm doing, go find tissue and then blot. I have tissues at the ready pretty much all the time. But that may be a downfall for you if you have oily skin, you need to wear this for more than a couple hours, and you don't have a blotting material readily available to you. You're gonna look oily, so you need to blot. And so if that is the case for you, then you may not like this foundation. But for me, I love it because being able to blot is not an issue for me. All in all, I give this foundation a let's say 4.7 stars out of 5. I definitely give it a 2 thumbs up because I love the way that it looks. Of course, I'm wearing it for you right now. I would not be reviewing this foundation without wearing it. And I have to say, I love the finish. Now, I have heard from a couple people that are extremely fair-skinned that even the lightest shade in this foundation is too dark for them. So hopefully, as this becomes more popular, they will start to develop a few more shades. That way it's easier for the fair-skinned ladies to find their shade. Right now, I'm a bit on the fair side for me. Normally I'm kind of tan, and right now I'm pretty fair for me. I might not look fair to you if you're fair, but for me this is fair. And shade 125 is perfect. It doesn't have yellow or pink or peach undertones. It's just beige. So love the foundation. I've been using it every day. I'm so happy with it. It looks like skin, which I love, and it's hydrating, which I also love because even though I'm oily, in the wintertime I feel dry. So, love the foundation. Moving on to the HD concealer. So I ordered this from Sephora.com, and when it came to me, I was kind of shocked at how tiny the tube is. I was expecting it to be a little bit larger, but that's okay because the first time I used it, I used too much because it takes just a teeny tiny little dot of concealer and you have enough for like this entire area right here. I bought the shade Y23, which is called Ivory, and it is a beige with slightly very fair yellow undertones. If you have very fair pink skin, or if you have like a ruddy skin tone, which is like red patchiness, then I wouldn't recommend this one. I would recommend Y21 instead of this. Let me tell you first what I don't like about this concealer. There is no applicator. You just kind of have to squeeze it out of the tip. Let me show you. You just squeeze a little bit out here like so from the little tip of the tube. Looking up close at this concealer, you can probably see it's just a little bit runny. It's not very moussey and creamy like a lot of concealers that are coming out these days. So it's very, very thin, and like I mentioned, a little bit goes a long way. So when I tap it out, you can see that tiny bit of concealer covered a large area. Now if I blend it out with a beauty blender, you get even better of a finish. This has full coverage. It is amazing for covering your dark circles. That's what this concealer is designed for, is for concealing and hiding dark circles. Now I have to say, I do use the beauty blender to blend it out, because when I use a brush, I find that because it's really liquidy, it comes out very streaky. However, because it just comes out in this little tiny dot like this, the beauty blender, it's kind of hard to get it blended out in a timely manner unless I use a brush first. And so this might not work for some people, because see, with the brush I can get it spread out like this, and then to get the finish I want I can use the beauty blender. But if that's not something that you're willing to do, then you know, you can either stick with the beauty blender or you might not like this concealer at all. So other than that minor inconvenience of needing to use a brush and a beauty blender to apply this, I love this formula. At first I wasn't sure what to think, because I tried it with just the brush and then I tried it with just the beauty blender rather than in conjunction with one another. But after I realized I can use both of these, then I absolutely fell in love with this formula. The coverage is very high, but it still manages to look natural because it is a hydrating concealer. It has what Makeup Forever calls hydrospheres in it, which keeps it from looking crepey on the under eye area. Me being an oily person, I actually do not get oily under my direct under eye area, like my eye bag area. That's actually a very, very dry area for me, and so if a concealer that I'm using is not hydrating, it looks very crepey. It actually settles into fine lines more easily than if I were to have an oily under eye area. So because it's a hydrating concealer, it does have that natural finish, even when you set it with the powder. I would definitely recommend setting it with a powder if you have any creasiness problems at all. Otherwise, it will settle into those creases, but that's not any different than any other concealer. Any concealer is going to do that. So I give this a 4.7 stars out of 5 as well, because I love the way that it looks. I love the way that it blends out. The only reason I've reduced it from 5 stars is because I feel like I need to use both of these tools to get it to look the way that I want. Now, even though this is a hydrating formula, it is not dewy like the foundation. Foundation is hydrating and dewy. This is hydrating and natural. And they actually call it a 4K formula. 4K is like the newest ultra HD whatever that they're calling everything now is 4K. It's super duper HD. With this concealer formula, they call it the 4K complex, and it basically guarantees that it is hydrating, a natural finish, is invisible, and it's comfortable for you to wear. So to sum everything up, I definitely love both of these formulas. I use them both constantly. I still have others that I use, but I'm still very excited by these two new products, so I've been using them all the time. It's what I've been wanting to reach for. So that is it for this review. I hope you guys found this informative and helpful, and I hope it answered all of the questions that you had. If not, please feel free to leave any other questions down below in the comments. And again, I'm sorry my teeth are stained a little pink from this. It got on my teeth while it was still drying and I didn't realize it. So when I went to go smile, check my teeth before I started recording, I realized they were stained pink. So that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and please do not forget to subscribe. I am so close to 4,000 subscribers. Thank you so much. If you have subscribed recently, I'm so happy to have you here. But thank you again. I will see you next time. Bye!